What is going on, everybody? It is the afternoon. Let's see. Tell me something interesting that happened to you today. That's what I want to know. That's what we always want to know. What did I see that was interesting today? I saw today that apparently in Iceland, their Down syndrome rate is down to like 90% down or something like that. Like they just don't have people with Downs over there in Iceland. So I thought that was very interesting, and yeah, I don't know why I just thought that was very interesting that apparently in Iceland they don't have people with Down syndrome over there. like I'm trying to find this article. Where is it? It's like they're saying that in Iceland, it's it's just a disappearing thing, right? Almost 100% of the women over there in Iceland do not have like give birth to people that do not have Down syndrome. So I thought that was very interesting. I guess in Iceland, if you have a hint of Downs, you're gonzos. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I just saw that this is an article that popped up for me that if you have a hint of Down syndrome in Iceland, you know, very interesting. What else is going on in the world today? What is going on? Let me think. Let me see. Let me see. If you guys missed the earlier stream, I solved another world problem. I don't. It's been such a blur. I don't even remember which world problem we just solved. Let's see. What problems did we solve? If you missed a mini stream to go, I solved the Canadian tariff problem. So if you want me to rehash that one, I can definitely rehash that. I'm telling you, this is what we do here. We come up with plans to solve the problems. Okay. Oh, I remember what problem I solved. I was thinking about St. Patty's Day. You know, it just passed, and there's so much St. Patrick's Day junk that gets wasted, right? And all the holidays have all this junk that gets kind of made and thrown away. I was saying, instead of throwing away, we make a new holiday, right? Because apparently you could just make holidays, right? So this is what I'm saying. We make a new holiday, and it should be on January 2nd. So after New Year's, we're going to call it Rewind Day, right? Rewind Day is you take all the holiday stuff that you've had throughout the years, I mean, throughout the year, and you use it again. So take out your Christmas trees, keep your Christmas trees, Easter eggs, Halloween stuff. We're gonna do it all on Rewind Day. Instead of like getting the St. Patrick's Day, the Valentine's Day stuff, the Easter stuff, and using it once and throwing it away and buying it again for no reason. Rewind Day. Make it a thing, guys. Rewind Day. Or we'll work on the name some other time. But it's my idea to get rid of all the holiday consumer waste. See? Boom. Problem solved, guys. Just use it again. Use it again. What else? It's let's see. Okay. There's another thing I want to talk about, I guess, because it bugs me all the time, and I want to talk about these thrift. I wouldn't say they're thrift stores, but they're like Goodwill, the Savers, these donation stores. Like these stores, in a way, drive me crazy because let's say Savers. I don't know. Do you guys have a Savers in your area? But Savers is kind of like Goodwill, but maybe fancier. I can't tell what's the difference. They all seem the same to me, right? But anyways, it's like Goodwill. You go there, you donate stuff. You donate stuff, right? or give it to them to toss away, whatever, right? You give it to them. They give you a slip that said like, "Oh, thank you for your donation. Here's a the tax deduction slip," right? No one's checking how much you actually donated. You could say on there that you donated a gajillion dollars. It doesn't, like, no one's checking, right? They give you the slip, and so you give it to them for free, right? I guess you were gonna throw it away or you're gonna give it to them, but you give it to them for free, and what do they do with it? They straight up sell it. No, I mean they take what they can, they price what they can, and then they just sell it, right? And then they keep all the money. It's genius. It's genius. Like literally, no inventory costs. They literally get the stuff for free and they just sell it. You don't get anything. They keep all the money. They supposedly donate whatever they can't sell, then they donate to somebody else. And what is that company? What do they do with it? Wait, the Japanese already do that with lost items on the train. I know. Okay, but wait, are you talking about my holiday idea, Jera, or are you talking about my gripe right now with these Goodwills and donation type selling companies? Like there's a that's right next to me, and every day, right, there's a line of cars and cars and cars of people trying to donate stuff or just give them stuff. And you go in there, right? And you're thinking, okay, they got this stuff for free. Maybe they'll just sell it for like $5 or something. No, everything's like almost full price. It's insane. Like they say they wash it first and then they sell it, but like for clothes. But it's like that's crazy. What a business model. What a business model. Like they just get stuff for free and gazoom. But the Japanese already do that with stuff. I mean, you can't say the Japan. You mean the train company already does that, right? That's like their lost and found, and they just get rid of the lost and found. That's what I'm thinking now. But that is insane. What else is going on that I saw? Yeah, I guess I want to go back to the Down syndrome thing. I still think it's very interesting. But I guess in Europe in general, Down syndrome is down. Down syndrome is down. Um, I think it said like it's down like nine into the 90 percentile that the children born do not have Downs, but in the US it said like maybe 30% chance of getting Downs for newborns or something of that nature. I gotta dig into it a little more, but I just thought that was very interesting that they're at like 90% chance. But for them to get to that percentage, you know what's going on, right? They doing the Sparta thing. Just imagine in Iceland, right? And Iceland's like Viking town, right? They do the Sparta thing where they inspect the babies and they're like, not good enough. And they just toss it into a hole. And then they just say like, "Oh, we have no Downs here." Let's see what else. The other reason I bring that up and I find it very fascinating is that if you go onto like social media, it feels like there's a lot of Downs. Like I feel like there's a whole market for it. Have you guys seen the story about there's this family? I don't know if it's a family or just a lady, but she has I think nine adopted uh disab children with disabilities, right? Like nine of them, and they all have different. They're all at different levels, right? And what I find fascinating is that she's collecting them to make content. Like she films them doing all kinds of stuff, and that's how she makes money. So it's a whole, like to me when I saw that, I thought of it's like a whole racket, right? Because you think about it, right? She collects one, right? And then you get you get government aid for having one, and then you get all kinds of different help, right? And then on top of that, right, on top of the government, the assistance that she gets for adopting them. Oh, and you get money for adopting, right, or fostering too, I believe. Um, she uses them to make content, and then she gets money from that, and then she gets ads and sponsors as well. I'm like, whoa, is it like Ryan's World? I don't know all these different ones because I don't watch those channels. I just know that they exist, and I just thought that that's a whole interesting thing that no one really. Wait, Ryan's World. Ryan's World, is that the toy guy, the toy kid? Am I thinking about Ryan's Toys? Are they all related? That's crazy. They are. But yeah, that's crazy. The toy. I thought he's a normal kid, isn't he? I don't think. I think what you're meaning is like more the exploitation of the parents. Yeah, yeah, okay. You're going on that route. I understand that. But like he enjoys, I think the difference is that he enjoys some of the fruits of the labor, right? Because he is cognitively there, like he enjoys it. He can do whatever he does. I don't know. He does seem like he is an indentured servant. But what I mean is the this lady, you can look it up later. My computer's all jacked up right now, but this lady's got like nine of them with down, like they're like downs, disabled, right? So they can't fully enjoy the the benefits, I guess, of their work that they're doing because she's got like camera crews all around filming them. I don't know, eating a bowl of cereal, right? And it's whatever they're doing, and then she posts that online, and she generates ad revenue, and people see this and they get sponsors, right? So, but they're very limited. At least Ryan's World, he kind of like it probably beats a 9 to 5. Yeah, it does, but that's definitely true. But like, how? I guess the maybe the part that I don't really like as much is that she's doing this on purpose, right? At like she's got nine of them. One is very hard, and then two, and they're all different. They're like they're super DEI. They're like one of each kind too, which is also very interesting to see. It's like she's got one of each kind, and then she's got them all doing different tasks. I don't know. I just thought that was super interesting. But it beats a 9 to 5. No, that's definitely true. Because what else would they be doing? I guess if they weren't doing that, they would be greeters at Walmart, I guess, or something of that nature. What else is going on in the world? I saw that God in the Middle East, ceasefire is over again, and a bunch of people got wiped out. You know. What else can we talk about today? Today is the more interesting day because it's the day after St. Patty's Day. Like who's hungover and trying to work? Do, 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 do. What else is going on in the world? Let's see. It's so depressing to look at. Let's just type in breaking news. Breaking news today. What is going on? What do we got? What do we got? It's all Trump stuff. I don't want to keep talking about Trump. We could talk about the ceasefire real quick though. That's kind of tough though. Because the ceasefire, like imagine you're like you got the ceasefire, right? and you're taking a break, but like you never know how tense is that break because you never know when it's gonna stop. Like literally, you're like, oh, we got ceasefire, and then they're gonna hang out for a little bit. Like I'm just imagining them like meeting up in some kind of like I don't know saloon bar that's over there, right? And you got both sides in there, and they're like, oh, we got a ceasefire, we're just gonna hang out, and then 1 second, I swear, all it takes is one guy. Hello, hello. Dressed to impress. Hello. Who are we trying to impress? Dressed to impress. I like it. I like it. Like it a lot. Hello, hello. You're like hanging out, and then one guy says the wrong thing, and then one guy starts a fight, and then boom, ceasefire's over. That's so tough. What's going on? What else is going on? What did I see? Oh, there were storms that went on all over the southern and kind of like mid east of America. I thought that was very interesting. It came off of them getting rid of 1,000 workers from NOAA. And if you guys don't know what NOAA is, NOAA is the agency that's in charge of like hurricane, tornado, earthquake, what like weather related weather forecasts, navigation, all these things. They just like fired a whole bunch of them, and then all these storms happened. So it makes me wonder when I see stuff like that. It makes me wonder if I think 47 people like got injured or passed away from this storm, and it makes me wonder if NOAA was at full capacity, maybe some of those people didn't have to. But it's one of those things you never know. 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 What else? What else is going on in the world today? That's what we all want to know. Something cool, something not. Breaking news. Let's check out some breaking news. Boop 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 boop. Ooh, Trump administration is working to reinstate more than 24,000 fired federal workers. Whoop 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 whoop. We're back, baby. We're back. We're back. What else is I think is interesting? I am watching this guy. I don't know. Like, I'm very interested in this. I guess next generation coming up because now I feel old. But like the stuff they do just for attention, I think is very interesting. Like, there's this guy I saw today, and he's got the long, like shiniqua, like nails, and that's insane in the membrane to me. Like, I wonder, like, I don't know how, I don't even know how the ladies do it with the long nails, and I hardly ever see ladies with the long nails anymore. Did I ever watch My Connie? No, I don't know what that is. What's a Choni? My Choni? Is that like a YouTube thing? I have no idea what that is. But oh, Nigahaga? Oh yeah, yeah. I've watched him back in the day. I always find it interesting when these creators they just like leave. They just like I'm done with this. I remember he a while back he tried to come back as a gaming streamer, but it didn't. It wasn't as interesting. But yeah. Anyways, I saw this guy, right, and he's got the long nails. I'm talking about like 4 or 5 inches. That's crazy. I don't even see ladies with that anymore. I remember that was a huge deal in the early 90s, like early mid 90s. Like I remember my parents, my mom had like the nails that are like out to here, and then as time went on, I think the new fashion trend now is to have for the ladies to have the nails just a little bit, so they can actually be productive members of society. The long nails to me is like it's almost like, you hear the stories of like ancient China, the binding of the feet, right? To me, the long nails was a very similar thing, right? Because who really wanted the long nails? Nobody. I'm pretty sure it was just one guy somewhere that thought that it was really cool, and then it just latched on. Because maybe there's a lady out there, they can explain the long nails, but I guess if you have longer nails, you can put more bling on them. But I don't know. I never understood why the ladies do that, because it makes it. It's like making, like, how like they. I know the beauty standards change over time, but I'm just curious of the mindset of the ladies back then, because it's not a thing anymore, because the ladies now, they all have regular, just maybe just a little bit, just a French tips or something of that nature. But I'm just trying to think about the mindset back then of, because like late 90s, early 2000, that's when like women power movement really started to take off a lot more, right? And I was just thinking, it's just not even that. It's just like, why make your life so much harder? Because it's like so much harder to do everything when you had those long nails. Like you can't type, you can't like grab things. Oh, it's just a weird thing. But anyways, I saw a guy with it now, like the long super nails, and I'm like, why? Why would you do that to yourself? Let's see. Oh no. Headline: Targeted attack of Tesla in Las Vegas. Ooh. Ooh. That's crazy. I think I mentioned it a few times already, but I think it's very crazy, the flip on Teslas. Like Elon built his whole empire on liberals, and he kind of just goes and flips on them. And then now they're like, because you think about it, I know what he's doing, okay? If you put yourself in the mindset of Elon, what he's trying, I think he felt like he saturated the market already. Whoever was gonna buy a Tesla already bought a Tesla, but there's a whole other market on the other side, right? That he didn't get to yet, and I think maybe he was trying to figure out a way to get that whole other side. Because you get to that market, that's a whole big jump in sales and stuff. And I think that was his plan. At some point, I know that must have been discussed at some point. That like, yo, Elon, you make the flip, you're gonna get a whole new customer base. And then Elon's like, you're right, you're right. If I flip to the other side, I can get a whole nother customer base. Genius. What else? What else is going on in the world that we can discuss? Do, 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 do. Boop. You guys have any topics you guys want me to cover? Because we'll go into. I mean, right now, I guess we're talking about beauty standards. I I was talking to my wife about this. That how uh this the what's in the look for ladies has changed, and back in our time, the look was big, like big breasts, the bombshell look, right, was in. But now it's more natural. I want to say fit girls are in right now, right? And when you're fit, usually this part is flatter, so it's like the flatter fit girl is in with the big booty is in. And so that's also, I don't know why I found that very interesting, that how things have changed that way, if you want to talk about beauty standards. I'm just curious to see how. I'm just curious to see how things are gonna shape out later. That's what I want to know. I think that's the hard part. Figuring out where things are gonna go. It's like I've been saying, everything feels heavy right now. Of course, I do. That's insane. Do I find my wife attractive? Yes, I do. Of course. Why suffer through that, I guess. I guess some people do suffer through that, but I don't think that's something that you should do. Because that means you settled in a way, right? And we're big components of if things aren't working out, just move on. No cheating, nothing like that. Like I don't feel like that's such a waste of time. I feel like strip clubs are a waste of time if you're into that stuff too. Like especially if you're in a relationship already. I always feel like why spend money outside of your relationship? You know what I mean? Like that's money that can be going back into your family, but why are you using it for some other lady that has nothing to do with you at all? So that's the part I don't I don't like that at all. You guys get what I'm trying to say. I mean that's the other thing that I find very interesting is you always see those headlines with the OF girls. They're like, "Oh, we made like I don't know, 50 gajillion billion dollars, right?" And I was thinking to myself like, "How?" I know it's only a small percentage of them, but even at that small percentage, it's like, are that many guys signing up for their subscription plan or whatever? Like, that's crazy that you have a person that you subscribe for, right? Like a Netflix plan, just to get like a picture or a video every once in a while. That's crazy. That is crazy. If only guys can do that too. That is crazy. I don't understand that. Because especially with how much content there is available online, why do you need to subscribe to this particular person on OnlyFans? Like, yeah, exactly. See, I don't get it either. Porn is free. Like it's free, right? So I don't get how they are making so much money. Like how is it possible that they get so many guys sign up? I don't know anyone, or maybe that's the problem, right? Is that no one talks about it. Like no one's out there fully admitting that I'm subscribed to this person or that person and that person. But I don't know anyone that's even used it. I don't know. I just know of it from the internet. Like oh, that's an OF girl. Like that's all I know. But like, yeah, how is it possible that they have so many subscribers that are paying money? Like I do this every day, 2, 3 times a day for free, right? And they post a picture and they get millions. It's insane, 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 insane. Oh, what else is going on in the world? Did I hear how Hooters is going out of business? You gotta check out my video on Hooters. Did you hear my what I said? How to Hooters for them to save their business is for them to basically lean into the social media and just you because they already have the talent, they have locations, right? Just I think they already have like all the pages, right? They have a YouTube page or a TikTok page or whatever, right? But just instead of serving food, they should just be used filming the girls doing whatever. They could be the next big dominant like uh content house, because you know how they all have houses now. That's how they should save Hooters. That's the only way. But yeah, I made a video on Hooters going out of business, and how can they save their business? I should actually find more businesses that I can save. I'm telling you, I keep making these videos. One day, do I think he's guilty? To be honest, I don't follow a lot of his case. From what I've heard, it seems like he is. I have no idea. That's not he's not someone that I like watch or know a lot of. I just know bits and pieces. I've seen bits and pieces of his material, and from what I see, and from what I see is that he's just doing that whole. No, she's not calling. Um, from what I've seen of his material, it seems like he's just saying whatever to try to get that lonely that next generation of guys that maybe feel like they don't have a lot going on, to latch on and then get to the follow me, I will lead you to the promised land, right? That kind of material. And yeah, that's no bueno, no bueno. He kind of reminds me of almost like I know the Big Book when I was in high school, college, was the the game, how like the art, the how to pick up the how to pick up girls, like pickup artists. If you guys read that, that's actually really funny. I remember I got an audio book of that and I listened to that, and those rules are so funny to me. Yes, the Neil Strauss the game. Have you ever seen that? And it's so funny to me. If now thinking back, like how funny it was. Like it's stuff like you have to be very interesting. So you need to have 5 items of interest. So rings, necklaces, um, colorful shirt, something for the ladies to comment, to talk about. And then it'll be like, I love the one where it's like, you have to show your dominance. So if a lady orders a drink, you order a more expensive drink to show that you're a high status male. Like it feels like Andrew Tate just basically read the game, right? The Neil Strauss pickup artist thing, and just repurposed it for the next generation that maybe doesn't know anything about it. That's what it feels like. But it's like some of it's so funny. It's like, uh, if you see a group of ladies and you see one that's very attractive, do not talk to her. Talk to her ugly friend instead. The one that is attractive will feel insecure because, but you know what I'm talking about, right? The attractive one will feel insecure because she's used to being the center of attention, and now you're talking to her ugly friend. Now, now she's thinking to herself, is she ugly? And it's like, what? Oh. And I remember I read the game and I tried to do a lot of that stuff before because you're young and you don't know anything. And I remember the all the girls were like, what's wrong with you? You do that thing because like, and then sometimes you're just doing that thing where you're like, you're playing the long game. And oh, I'm cutting this thing because my dog bit me and I got a, I don't know if you guys want to see it, but you see that red dot right there. My dog bit me and I was bleeding under my skin. I just popped it so the blood can come out. Um, what were we talking about? Yeah, it doesn't work because I remember the ladies hated that. But the only thing that I have to say the game does, uh, the only thing that I liked from it was it's basically the idea that you just have to try, and I think that's what a lot of a lot of guys have the hardest time with. It's just trying. You just have to try, because if you don't try, you gotta it's gonna move on. And a lot of guys, I guess, fall into this thing where they feel like they're too good, like oh, if I'm too good to try to find a girl, then I'll never get rejected or whatever. But if you don't try, you also never know. So that's the only thing that I got from the whole game thing is you gotta try. It's a numbers game. If you get rejected, move on, and maybe the next one. That's it. I think that's the only thing that was good from that. What else is going on in the world? They sell. Boop boop boop. I mean, also, if you want to talk more the entertain thing, I think it's very funny that he got allowed to leave, and then now that when he lands in Florida, they arrest him again and try to trial him again. I thought that was very interesting. It reminds me of like Escobar. If you guys know the story of Escobar, like he runs that area and he was fine with it until they wanted to extradite him to America for trial, and that's when he started freaking out. So, so I thought that was very interesting that they waited for him to come here and they're gonna try again with American laws, I guess. Do, 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 do. What else is going on in the world? What do you guys want to know? What do you guys want to hear about? What do I eat usually? I eat, uh, let's see, I go through in a way like a cycle throughout the week. I don't have like a daily thing, but it's more of a weekly thing. At some point in the week, I like to eat a fish dish. At some point in the week, I like to eat a chicken dish. On Fridays, I always make pizza because that's what my kid likes, and I make it at home because pizza's I feel like it's one of the most overpriced foods when you eat out because pizza is if you make it at home, realistically, it's only like maybe like $6, right? Hello, Mr. John Robinson. Like to make pizza at home, it's like $6, right? With all the toppings, and you can make a giant pizza. And so, yeah, at some point in the week, I like to make my own dough. That's super easy. It's literally just flour, water, salt, yeast, and a little bit of oil. There, whatever the ratios are. But yes, but I have to make it. That's true, but it doesn't take that much work. That I think that's the thing that I'm trying to say. It doesn't take that much more work to make a pizza. I'll walk you through the Friday day, okay? On Friday, sometime in the afternoon, like around this time, I will make the dough. So that's literally I just go in the kitchen. I get like I don't measure anything either. I just scoop it in and dump it in, right? I just eyeball it, make sure it looks right. So I go into the kitchen, I get some flour, and I dump maybe like three or four cups of flour, boop 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 into a bowl, and then I sprinkle a little salt in there, some salt, right? And then I have a cup that I use, and I put a little bit of honey in the cup, or you can use sugar if you don't have honey. Put a little honey in the cup, and then I go to my hot water dispenser, right? And I put a little dab of hot water, put some cold water in, Put another dab of hot water to make sure the water's warm. That's all you need, right? Warm water. And then stir it around to dissolve the honey or sugar. And then I go get a bag of the instant yeast, or you could have the jar of yeast. I use the jar of yeast, but you can have the bag. If you use the bag, you just literally just rip it, put that whole bag in. It's like this big. I don't, like I said, I don't measure anything, so right, it's like this big. Throw the whole bag in, stir it around for a little bit, and then you see it starts to like bubble or turn like this milky white color. That's when it's ready. Pour that into the flour, mix that up, and then it should be like this doughy consistency at that point. If it's too watery, add some more flour, but you don't want it too mushy. That's the idea. Then sprinkle some olive oil, throw a little bit more flour on top, mix it around again, cover it, leave it there until nighttime, and it should rise. Right? That's the dough making part. That literally takes it may sound like a lot when I'm describing it, but literally that takes like 5 minutes, right, to do. And as you do it more often, it gets faster and faster. And then nighttime, when you're ready to make pizza for your family or for yourself, what I just described to you can make maybe 4 or 5 medium-ish pizzas. So think about that already, right? What I described earlier to make the dough, that's literally like $2 worth of ingredients. Okay, and then we'll get there. We'll get to toppings. Okay. And then when you're ready to make pizza, so I wait for my kid has a bunch of after school stuff. After they're done with that, we get home and I ask them, "What do you want on for your toppings?" Or sometimes they'll put the toppings themselves, right? So after that, they're like, "Okay," and then I take the dough, I take it out, and you want it in a warm place. If you put it in the freezer in the refrigerator, it's not gonna rise properly. Just leave it out, room temperature, it'll rise. And then I just get like a ball, like maybe like this big or so, right? And then flatten it out. You throw some flour on a counter, roll out your dough to whatever pizza size you want or how thick or thin you want it, right? And then throw in some sauce. I like to use marinara sauce from the store. Again, that's like $2. So right now that's like $2 or $3 for the jar, right? And that jar can last probably like 8 pizzas, right? So I mean, I guess right now we're at like $2.50 or less. Again, all the ingredients I used earlier to make the dough, that's like 5 pizzas worth, right? So maybe we're at like $1 for one pizza right now. Okay, then you get I like to use the shredded mozzarella cheese. Okay, then I like to throw on some mushrooms and then basil, the Italian basil. I had that in my backyard, so I go out there and I get that. Then some Italian basil. I like to do crushed garlic on there as well. So crushed garlic. And then the meat or the protein part, that depends on what I have. Usually we just use pepperoni because my kid likes pepperoni and I don't want to get a bunch of stuff out. And then I sometimes I like to throw in a little bit of spinach for just some more greens. And that's basically it. Throw in the oven, 425, 15 minutes or so, like 12 minutes. If you're doing 2 pizzas at a time, I just use my regular oven. You don't even need one of those fancy like pizza ovens. Just use your regular oven, 425. Throw in there. If you're doing 2 pizzas, halfway you need to rotate because the top one burns. If you leave one on top, it burns. So you're gonna rotate halfway. If you're doing 2 pizzas, do 15 minutes. If you're doing 1 pizza, do like 13 minutes. Comes out, cut it, boom, boom. You're ready to eat. That's it. That is it. So usually I do that on Fridays. But throughout the week, it's just whatever. Like I try to make one soup a week, a fish dish a week, a chicken dish, vegetables every single meal. Yeah, so I usually eat pretty healthy, and I usually eat at home. I don't like to go out and eat, especially with food prices right now. Food prices right now are crazy to go out and eat. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but I feel that way. Every time I go to a grocery store right now, I mean, go out to a restaurant to eat, I feel ripped off, and I don't like the feeling of being ripped off. Yep. So that is that. What else is going on? That's because you're being ripped off. Yeah, I know. But I hate that. See, I want to avoid that as much as possible. That feeling of getting ripped off is what I'm trying to avoid. I hate knowing that I'm being ripped off. I can't enjoy my meal or anything if I know I'm getting ripped off. It it drives me crazy. That's why I said I don't that's why I don't like donating to savers, and I don't like eating out when you can cook everything yourself, and you learn a skill that you can cook yourself, and you can impress, like, if you have friends over or whatever, you know how to cook, or you have a lady over and you know how to cook. It's a skill that you have, right? Or if you have children, you know how to cook, you can feed them. Like, you know what's very interesting is that I've been meeting a lot of people lately that don't know how to cook at all. And I'm telling you, that's a skill that you need to have. You need to be able to cook. Why doesn't she cook? Um, One, she likes the way I cook more, and my kid likes the way I cook more. That's why she doesn't cook. And two, she's I don't know, she wants to do other stuff, I guess, with her time. So that I just let her do her thing, and I'll just do it. I mean, she can cook. Don't get me wrong. It's not like she doesn't know how to cook. It's just that I think everyone prefers my cooking better, so I just do it. But some things she has to cook. Like I don't. I think what it is that everyone has their specialty, right? She's really good at cooking, baking. I'm terrible at baking stuff, like cakes and desserts and stuff, because the way I cook, I don't measure anything. And baking is more of a science where you need to have exactly, this much flour to this much sugar to whatever, to eggs or whatever, right? When I cook, I literally just throw everything in. I know the idea of what's supposed to go in there and the general taste that I'm going for, right? And that's it. Like, and so maybe it makes it more interesting because every single time it's a little bit different because since I don't measure anything. But yeah, but that doesn't work for baking. Sometimes if I try to make cookies, right? Sometimes it turns out really good, and then other times it could be complete trash, and it's because I know I don't it's because I don't measure anything. So like sometimes it's too gooey, sometimes it's too dry, whatever. But yeah, baking I'm not very good at. And then some dishes that require precise measurements, I'm not good at. That's 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 all I have to say about that. What else is going on in the world? Yeah, lately looking at the news is very, very, very sad. It makes me sad. So let's talk about something else. Oh, what is my favorite dish that she makes? I'm trying to think. There's this chicken dish that she makes. It's called Hainan chicken. It's basically a chicken from this area, and it's my favorite dish. It's actually very simple. It's literally just chicken and rice, but the chicken is like cooked in this uh like brothy style, and then you take the chicken out, and then you use that broth to make the rice. It's like a staple dish in I guess Hainan. That's why they call it Hainan chicken. But that's my favorite dish. And if she ever makes that dish, right, it's usually one, she messed up somewhere and she's trying to apologize, or two, it's a big holiday. That basically that she's trying to celebrate. But any time if I see her make that dish, I know that she messed up somewhere. It's like, whoa, why are you making that today? Like if she makes it out of the blue, I know something is wrong. That that's for sure. I'm trying to think. What have we been eating the most of lately? Like I said, I feel like right now with the economy the way it is, everyone needs to tighten up a little bit, and just try to find efficient food. I think I mentioned this last time, but did I tell you guys about when the pandemic happened and the stores started to close, and we there was this window where you can go to the grocery store? I just always remember going to the grocery store and seeing all the shelves empty except for the super healthy food. And I just thought that was so funny that and like if you guys remember things like the staples, right, on were super expensive. Like flour, rice, pasta were super expensive, but like things that people don't eat very often but were still very nutritious were regular price. So quinoa, um, all the other grains that you probably don't know. Like, I just thought that was very interesting. Oop. What else is going on in the world? Ooh. All right. Anyways, I think that's enough for today. I'll be back a little bit later. Thanks for hanging out with me, Jiro Steiner. I know you come in here a lot, but I appreciate it a lot. So thank you very much. I'm gonna take a break and I'll be back later.